Today we're going to start talking about monomials. So let's get down what a monomial is first. Here's the definition. One term. That's it. Here's some examples. 2x squared, 45a, 5 divided by x. Notice that in every one of these examples, we don't have a plus or minus sign in there at all. It's just one term by itself. Here's a few non-examples for you. So we can see 3x plus 5. We have two terms separated by a plus sign. And in our second non-example, we have 2x squared minus 6. Again, I have two different terms here separated by a minus sign. These are actually examples of binomials that we'll get into a little bit later in this unit. So we're going to start today by talking about multiplying monomials. Taking a look at the first example here, I have x squared times x to the 5th power. I'm going to start by just writing all of these out. So x squared is really x times x. I'm going to bring this multiplication sign down, and x to the 5th is really x times x times x times x times x. So we're just going to write it all out and count the number of x's I have here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I'm multiplying 7 x's together. That's going to give me x to the 7th power. We're going to do the same thing with the second example here. So I'm just going to write out all of these n's. So I have n times n to the 4th. I'm going to write that down 4 times n cubed. And again, I'm just going to count all the n's that I have here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this is going to be equal to n to the 8th power. Well, there's actually a little shortcut that we can use, so we don't have to write all of these out. And that rule for multiplying two monomials, and this should be a multiplication symbol here. Here's the rule. X to the a times x to the b is actually equal to x to the a plus b. So what does that mean? That just means that we're going to add the exponents together. So instead of writing it all out, we're just going to add the exponents. So if we take a look at our first example from the other page, we're just going to do x, and we're just going to add the two exponents together. And you'll see that we still get x to the 7th, just like we got in the last page. In the second example, remember, if we see a variable by itself, we can assume that the exponent is 1. So that's really important to remember when you're going through these examples. Don't forget about the variables by themselves. They still have an exponent, and that exponent is 1. So I'm just going to add these three exponents together. So this would be n to the 1 plus 4 plus 3 power, which gives me n to the 8th. And that's it. Here's one for you to try, and we're going to continue with all of this in class.